Hey, Memphis Mafia kid, and it's another rainy Wednesday. But hey, we've had rain for the last 3 days. But
Yeah, flood.
it is what it is. But we're back at you with some more questions, and I'm trying to not wash my hands, and so she don't be griping at me.
I'm gonna throw this pin. I'm gonna throw this pin at you.
Okay, let's get with it. Go ahead.
All right. Marie Bruce wants to know: did you ever get in trouble and Elvis tell your dad to spank you?
First of all, hello, Marie.
You weren't spanked enough.
And
that's the problem.
No, Elvis never. Let me just put it this way. I had my ass adjusted a few times, but it wasn't because of Elvis or anything that I did like that. But that was a very, very good question.
Jack Suter asked: did Ricky Stanley have a great sense of humor?
Man, yeah, Ricky. Ricky was so much fun. He was a character. I mean, constantly cutting up, just doing things and things most of the time would kind of backfire on him. And I had told once before, he let Lisa talk him into giving her a ride on his motorcycle around the driveway at Graceland one time. And Elvis happened to look out the window, and let's just say it wasn't a good time for Ricky during that time. But like I said, most all the guys had one heck of a great sense of humor, and they all just kind of went together like a chain and a spoke, I guess you could say. They played off of one another. They had fun off of one another. Just like I said, a great group of guys.
All right. And Peggy Glass: how old were you when you realized Elvis was famous?
Wow, I don't know how to. It was always. I mean, from the time I was little, there was always stop it.
I'm gonna throw this pin at you. Keep on.
There was always something about Elvis. I guess in a way he kind of always knew he was special, but probably really on up. I would probably say 7, 8 did really realize that he was Elvis Presley, the superstar.
Okay, Howard Moses: did Elvis meet new friends at the gate and show Graceland off to them?
In the early years, he did, and you've probably read in a lot of books, and I know a lot of them. But yes, he would. In the early years, he met and become friends with folks at the gate, and actually had them. Some of them come up to Graceland, would show it off. Had some go to the movies with him, to the fairgrounds, play football. And different things like that. So yeah, that's a great question. Hope that answered your question.
All right, and Terry Adams asked: did Elvis show his love other than by giving people things?
Sure, Elvis. It wasn't the gifts of anything. Elvis. I mean, he showed his love all the time. I know. I had told y'all about a group of guys one time, and we'd had problems with them before, and I guess somebody had said something. One of them actually had pulled a knife on us in the woods one time, and nothing really happened, but we'd come back, and somehow or another, I don't know if it was mom and daddy or who had mentioned, or it had come up with Elvis, and shoot, he wanted to have them jumped on, whipped, and all this. So yeah, I mean, but
he was protective.
He was protective, and too, like I said, with that life, like I've said before, I mean, we had the whole grounds of Graceland, golf carts, swimming pool, racquetball court, pool table, pretty much pinball machine, just pretty much anything that we wanted to do. So yeah, I mean, he always showed his love. And too, like I said, the one time, not just the one time, but I had mentioned I never would forget when he was leaving to go on tour, and he shook hands with me and said, kind of watch over the place, and I'll see you when I get back. And I mean, he was constantly showing you that he cared, and you felt that and knew that.
Okay. That was the last question. There, I don't know if you wanted to address it. There have been a lot of comments about the Colonel making Elvis. Did you want to say anything about that?
Sure, I'll. Well, you know what? I guess if you ask, then yeah, I'm gonna put my input in there. And the way I feel about it is, I'm sorry, the Colonel did not make Elvis Presley. It was the best I remember. Elvis wasn't looking for a manager. The manager was looking for him. But with that being said, Elvis Presley was already special. Had a God-given talent, looks, charisma, and something that none of us could ever explain. And
he was destined.
He was destined to be. But in my opinion, y'all, and when I say y'all, I mean the fans and Elvis's following. That's what made Elvis Presley, with a combination of what he already had, if that makes sense. I mean, you look at it, and I've heard it before. I mean, Elvis would have went on maybe faster or maybe a little slower, but he was going to go on and be who he was, regardless of who his manager was, in my opinion. And also, it aggravates me because, like I said, your fans and your following is what makes an entertainer, actor, athlete, whatever. If we're not buying tickets to support these people and to go to their shows or go to their games or their concerts, then they're not going to go very far. So I mean, I've heard it back and forth for a long time, but I mean, that's just the way it is. The Colonel didn't make Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley was Elvis Presley and made by his fans and his following. And I hope, that's just the way I feel about it. So with that said, hey, y'all, we're going to get out of here, but we'll see you again Sunday. And remember, we always live Elvis.